All right. So look, this is the stuff that they don't want you to know. These are the things that they don't want you to know. They don't want you to hear these type of things. They're going to keep you away from, they're going to distract you. They're going to try to distract you from this type of message. Let me actually throw these on real quick. They're going to try to distract you from a message like this. But if you are here right now, it's because something inside of you is stirring. Something inside of you is stirring. You've been sensing it, you know? The shift. It's been some type of shift, some type of pull that you're feeling on the inside. And so the undeniable truth is that you were made for more. Okay? That's why you seek. That's why you seek better. That's why you seek more. We are meant to have more. You were made for more. But let me tell you, like I said, they're not going to tell you these things. So this is the digital asset class. My name is Ray Lamar, ENTTV Studios. I'm here to pretty much let you in on the things that they're not going to tell you. I'm on a wealth journey, so you can tap in. We got big things coming up. You can go to check out my website, premierforeign.com, and get some free resources. You just put your information in one of the sections where you can enter your information. Boom, check your email. It'll be some stuff in there for you. But so like I said, these are the things that they're not going to tell you. They try to keep you distracted, second guessing yourself, questioning your power. But if you're hearing this, it's already too late for them. Because you're waking up to the fact that I'm made for this. Okay. And this world was never meant to define you. It was never meant to hold the keys to your destiny. Because the moment you stepped into awareness, the moment you dared to believe that you were called for something greater, the chains started to break. Okay? The chains started to break. And so the truth is, your authority has already been established. Your authority has already been established. It was never about permission from men. The only thing required was your authorization. Okay? The only thing required from the only requirement for your authority is your authorization. Okay? And you can, and we gonna, like I said, we're gonna dive deeper into this, but it comes through the Spirit. It comes through the Spirit. You can't just authorize something just because. It's like you can't just go to the car dealership and start signing stuff and think you about to walk out with a car. If you don't have the authority to sign the document and to walk out with the vehicle, then you're gonna think you're authorizing something, but you're not. And so that's where the distractions come into play. They'll try to distract you and try to keep you from attaining the authority in order to authorize what's made for you. So it's about stepping into your divine position. Okay. And we here at ENTTV Studios, we take a kingdom approach. We take a kingdom approach because that's who we are. That's who we are. I'm a king. I'm a king of the king of kings. So I'm actually reference a story from the Bible. I'm sure many of you have heard of Moses, right? Moses wasn't looking for authority. He wasn't looking for authority. He was running from it. Moses was on the run because he had committed murder. I don't know who knew that. I don't know who doesn't know that. It's things about the Bible that people don't know that they would, it's pretty interesting. Moses caught a body. Moses caught a body. He stoned a nigga. You know what I'm saying? He stoned a nigga to death. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he did. Yeah. But he was on the run. He was running from his authority. But when he stood before the burning bush, I'm sure many of you have heard of the burning bush, and he asked what name to give the people, God didn't hand him a title. Basically, he was called to, when he stood before the burning bush, God gave him a message and told him to go tell Pharaoh to let his people go. His people were enslaved. His people were enslaved by the Egyptians. His people were the Israelites, and they were enslaved by the Egyptians. Okay, and God said, go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. And he was like, what do you know what I'm saying? What do I tell them? Who do I tell them sent me? You know what I'm saying? And he didn't give him a title. He didn't say, tell him that you are, the executive of whatever. He didn't say, tell him that you blah, 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 whatever. He didn't give him any credentials. He said, tell them I am that I am. Tell them, he said, who should I tell them who sent me? Not who I am. He said, who do I tell them that sent me? He said, tell them I am that I am. Actually, I'm gonna look up the actual verse real quick. Is it on here? Yeah, Exodus 3:14. So it says, okay, give me the scripture. So it says, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. So yeah, who sent me? Who sent me? I am. It's kind of like, you would be confused if somebody told you, okay, well, who do you want me to, if your boss or whatever, or somebody of authority, somebody of great authority sent you to go do something that you kind of were like, I don't know if I have the authority to do that. And you say, okay, well, if they ask me, because you're talking to the Pharaoh, he's like the king. You talking to the Pharaoh, the boss, you talking to another boss. Like, yeah, let my people go. What? Who you talking to? Like, what I'm saying? Who are you? Who are you to, like, what? These my people. These are my slaves. You know what I'm saying? And so he said, who do I tell them that sent me? He said, tell them I am that I am. That's basically like saying, tell them I am who I am. That's boss. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's a pretty great claim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tell them I am that I am. Like, what? You want me to say that? Out of all things, you want me to say that? Yes. I am that I am. And that was all the authority that Moses needed. Okay? So similarly, think about Donald Trump when he just recently did his executive orders or whatever, his first day in office, when he was signing all those executive orders. Boom, boom, boom. He didn't write those executive offers or executive orders. He just signed them. He signed them. The moment he stepped into office, the authority was his to authorize. He couldn't have gone and done that before. He had to step into office. You have to step into your position. You have to step into your purpose, your place, in order to be able to authorize things, in order to have the authority to authorize things. So he didn't have to prove anything. Trump didn't have to go in there and prove anything. He did that already. He did that already when he won the election. He just had to be in the position. So boom, he got the position. Now, first day, he's signing things away. Boop, boop, boop. Nothing to it, because he was in the position of authority. And so he had the position to authorize things. So I hope this is making sense. So authority is not earned. It's recognized. It's activated. It's authorized. Okay. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to prove yourself. The authority over your life, your business, your calling, it's been waiting for your name. It's been waiting for your name, for you, because it's yours. So the moment you step into your position, things will move. So if I know you've been feeling this, the feeling of, it's like you're close. People do things because they're being called. Me as an artist, when we used to go do performances and things like that, it was because we wanted we were positioning ourselves as the authority. We were who we were. I am who I am. So when we go perform, we stepping in there to be who we are in that place. And so there's a lot of people that content creation, they're starting businesses, they're coming into positions, they're going to school, they're doing things in order to position themselves for who they see themselves as. This is called vision. You're having a vision. And so you're putting yourself in the position to have the authority to say, I am a artist. I am a doctor. I am a artist. I think I said artist already. So all you have to do is step into your position and things will move. The doors will open and your name will carry weight because heaven has already signed off on it. Heaven has already signed off on you because you're here. You're already here. It said something along the lines of, I knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. He knew you. He knew you already. He knew you would be here. And then especially during a time like this, where creativity is at an all-time high. People are information is just being thrown in our faces. We have the ability to create through devices that we hold in our pockets. It's like that. And so heaven has already signed off on your authority. You have to step into the position. And so this is where we come into the power of words. The power of words. Creation and command. Words are not just sounds. They are declarations of reality. So they say death and life are in the power of the tongue. When God spoke, the universe obeyed. He said, let there be light, and there was light. He said, let us create man in our image. And then he formed man. And so I'm not even gonna get into that. So if the creator formed everything with words, what makes you think that your words don't hold weight? We were created in his image. Your words hold weight. Your words hold weight. So this is why you must change your dialogue. You have to stop saying things like, I'm not ready, or I'm not good enough, or I don't belong, or I'm just people. You'd be surprised how many people say, I thought about this years ago. When people don't have no money, they say they'll say I'm fucked up. They'll say I'm fucked up. I don't want to, what I'm saying? They'll say, or I'm, things like that. You're saying I am. You're using those words that God claimed as to be him. I am effed up. You better now you starting to speak some death. You starting to speak some death out here. Like, man, I'm so lost. You're saying I am so lost. God is not lost. God is not lost. You're lost. But you're not lost because you have to change the dialogue. You have to say, I am on a journey. You have to say, I am on a mission. Things like that. I am in a place of discovery. I am discovering myself. I am realizing who I am. I am chosen. I am positioning myself. I am positioned. I am authorized. You have to claim it. That's where affirmations come into play, because you're affirming these things into reality, into your reality, by speaking them. So when you say things like especially when you use I am, or I'm, they shortened it. They put the apostrophe in there to give it, to make it feel like it's less power. It's not less powerful. It's just abbreviated. It's abbreviated. I'm. So when people say, they say all types of stuff. And as you start to pay attention, when you listen to people, that's why you can't listen to people. You can't listen to everybody. You can't listen to everybody, because they'll be declaring things into your life and you won't even realize it, and you'll be agreeing with what they're saying the whole time. You're positioning yourself in a death. You're basically speaking death into your life. Now, I'm no expert in this area, by the way. I'm just being called to speak this message, because it's a lot of people that are it's a spirit. We live in a very spiritual world right now, and the spirit is moving upon the face of the earth. I put it to you like that, just like Genesis 1. The spirit is moving on the face of this earth, and so you have to be aware of what's going on, or you will continue to move. You'll continue to just walk in the path that other people have for you, and not in the path that you that you have authority, the place that you have authority in. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you just can't, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And you just have to watch the way that you speak into yourself. You have to watch the way that you speak into yourself. You have to watch the way that you speak to others. Period. Because the moment you declare it, heaven moves. Heaven moves. You moving spiritually. So this brings me to the power of your name, identity and ownership. Names hold power. When God changed Abram to Abraham, he there's a whole thing about that. Basically, I don't even want to go into it for real, but basically, Abram was his original name. It was like the father. I want to share it with y'all. So, what does Abram mean, and what does Abraham mean? Because there was a difference. He renamed him. So Abram means exalted father. And so the whole time Abram didn't have no kids. He didn't have no kids. And so his name was Exalted Father, but he was not a father. And so you can imagine the type of shame that he felt walking around with this name of Exalted Father, but he couldn't have no kids because his wife was barren, or whatever the case. Or I believe that's the word. So he's walking around with this name, Exalted Father, but it's like, I don't even have no kids. I can't even have kids. And so he felt shame inside. And so Abraham, God renamed him Abraham. And this is like the father of our faith. They call him the father of our faith. The father of many nations. Abraham means the father of many nations, because God called him and he changed his name, and he said, I'm going to name you Abraham. He said, if you can look up into the sky and count how many stars there are, that's how many children you will have. And then he said, if you can if you can count how many grains of sand are on the beach, that's how many children you'll have. And so you can't count that many. That's because nations came from him. We are a part of the Abrahamic covenant. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob, he changed Jacob's name to Israel, Saul to Paul. God changes names. He'll change your name. You may not know your name. You may not know your true name. Sometimes I even think like business. My name. I was born with the name Ray Lamar, but maybe God changed my name to ENT Studios. Figuratively. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to change your name to Amazon. I'm going to change your name to Tesla. I'm going to change your name to Apple. I'm going to change your name to, you know what I'm saying, Chipotle. Whatever the case. All these things, God will change your name into who you truly are, into who you are called to be. And I'm not saying that these business names is that, but it very well could be. It very well could be. Or even like artists names, things like that. But it wasn't about a new identity. It was about activating destiny. It was about activating destiny, who you are. And so your name carries weight. You are not a spectator in this life. You are called to shift atmospheres, to command spaces, and to own your divine right. I mentioned in one of the last episodes that the universe changed. The entire universe changed. When I first started having visions of who I would be in the future, the world was not like it is right now. The entire universe changed in order to fulfill, in my eyes, God changed the entire universe to work in my favor. He changed the entire universe to work in my favor. I used to wonder how. I don't even know if I used to wonder how. I just used to know. That we would do these things. I just used to know. I used to tell my brother when we were young. That we have to become the media. I said, we're going to have to become the media. I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen, but yet that's what's happening. And so God shifted the whole entire universe. Social media. Social media was not a thing when I was saying that. Social media wasn't even a thing, I don't think. It might have been early in the very early stages, but we didn't understand social media the way that it is today. It wasn't the way that it is today. And so he changed the entire universe. Like I said, we can create from our phones. So you're called to shift atmospheres, to command spaces, and to own your divine right. Joseph, the story of Joseph. I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of Joseph. Joseph was thrown into a pit, but his name still reached Pharaoh's court. Long story. These stories are summarized. I summarized these stories. But the story of Joseph is a beautiful story. He was thrown into the pit. His brothers, he had 12 brothers. Or he had 11. Maybe he had 11 brothers. He was 12th. But he had other brothers. About 12 brothers, because he was a younger brother too. So yeah, I believe it was 13 of them total. Do the research yourself. But he had 12 older brothers, or 11 older brothers, and they hated him because he had a dream. That's crazy, right? They hated him because he had a dream. In his dream, they bowed down to him. He said, "Hey, I had a dream that y'all was bowing down to me." He told his dad, he told his mom, he said, "Hey, I had a dream that y'all all bowed down to me." And the brothers was like, "What? We ain't bowing down to you, man. We ain't bowing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't bowing to you, man." And so they didn't like him. He was a little shepherd boy. You know what I'm saying? He was a shepherd boy. And so his brothers did the hard work because they were bigger. And so he tended to the sheep. And so his brothers ended up throwing him in a pit, he ended up getting some people found him, a group of some other people, some foreigners found him. They took him out and they made him a slave. He ended up being a slave for a while. He went from being a slave to being a prisoner. He went to prison. He ended up going to prison. And so from prison, he ended up getting called by the Pharaoh. He ended up getting called by the Pharaoh because the Pharaoh had a dream. The Pharaoh had a dream, and he wanted his dream interpreted. And so he was like, who can interpret this? He called the magicians, he called the sorcerers, he called all the tarot. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, if y'all tap, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. All this witchcraft going on, stuff like that. Speaking against it. The Pharaoh called but the thing about it was, he said he didn't want the people to tell them to interpret the dream. They wanted him to he wanted them to tell him his dream and interpret it. Don't just interpret my dream. Tell me the dream that I had and then interpret it. If he felt like if you really about that life, then you should be able to tell me my dream and interpret it. And so all the people, they tried to persuade him, well, sir, how could we interpret the dream if you don't tell us the dream? He wasn't going. He like, nah, y'all fake. He's like, y'all fake. You a magician. You a trickster. You a witchcraft. You practicing witchcraft. This ain't real. You ain't telling me the truth. You trying to play me. And so he was like, I ain't going. And so he ended up, somebody remembered Joseph, like, oh yeah, I was locked up with dog. And he interpreted my dream. And so, or he interpreted somebody else's dream, actually. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert on it, but this is the digital asset class. This ain't the Bible class, but that's where this message is. I'm being led for the message. I'm being led to the message. Whatever the message is that I got to deliver, I'm gonna have to deliver it because that's my authority. Because I'm stepping into my authority. So whatever message that I'm being called to deliver, I have to deliver that. And so, but you know, I'm also interested in these stories, and they fascinate me. But and so he said, oh yeah, I remember dog. He could interpret dreams. I'm gonna call him up. He's still in prison right now. And so they called him. He came and he told Pharaoh his dream and he interpreted it. And so yeah, but so he was thrown into a pit, but his name reached Pharaoh's court. It doesn't matter where you are. Sometimes you get dragged through the mud in order to be a seed. You might get thrown through the mud just to be planted where you need to be planted. You feel me? Esther, she was an orphan, but her name carried the favor of a queen. And so her story, just a little quick synopsis or whatever the case. That story is kind of funny because the king, he had a queen, but she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. He called her up. I think he had like a long party. He had like a month-long party or something like that. He had a party and it lasted for a long time. And he wanted his queen to come, you know what I'm saying? Like, come show the people how beautiful you are. And she was like, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm tired. I ain't going out there. You throwing these parties all day, all night. I'm tired. I ain't going out there. He said, what? And so he got rid of her. And then so he had a beauty pageant in order to get the next queen. Esther became the next queen. But she was an orphan. She didn't have no parents. Your name is already in the right rooms. You just have to show up. This stuff is deep. I'm not just talking to y'all. I'm talking to myself. Your names are already in the right rooms. You just have to show up. The power of authority, the strategic positioning of chosen ones. Here we go. We getting closer, y'all. We getting closer to that to that truth. I mean, the truth is all here. The truth is in the truth. What they say, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, so the truth is in this message. So Nehemiah, he was a cupbearer, nothing more. But because he was positioned in the right place, he had access to power. He didn't have to fight for his authority. He just had to recognize it. All you got to do is recognize it. All you have to do is recognize the authority that you already have. So authority is not about striving. It's about stepping in. So for the chosen ones who's hearing this right now, this moment in time is not about striving. Don't get me wrong. You are still going to have to put your best foot forward. You're still going to have to put your best foot forward because the economy, the world, the evil within the world, all these things are real. So you don't want to be caught slipping. You don't want to be caught lacking. You don't want to be lacking. Okay. So you still have to be on top of what you got to be on top of. But that isn't the part. That isn't the part that makes you chosen. That's not the divine part. That's the physical part. Yeah, you have to physically still get up and get to it. Do whatever you got to do, blah, blah, this and that. But the divine part is simply stepping in to the room that you were called to step in, stepping into the position that you were called to step into. You have to make that move. It's scary. It could be daunting to an extent. It could be nerve-wracking. It could be confusing. It can be way bigger than what you expected. It could be something that you never would have thought you could do, or something that you never would have thought you would do. But yet you continue to feel this calling. Like, it's just something about that. It's just something about that. It's just something about music. It's just something about acting. It's just something about psychology. It's just something about being a doctor. It's just something about, studying the word. It's something about this kingdom. What is the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? It's something about whatever it is that you're being called to do. It's something about writing. I write all the time. I write every day. It's something about whatever it is, whatever you're being called to do. You're being called to do that for a reason. It's because that's where your authority is at. That's where your authority is at. And so your profession, your business, your creativity, they are not random. They are kingdom platforms designed to position you exactly where you need to be. Your work is not separate from your calling. It is your calling. Okay? It is your calling. One of my mentors, it's actually my business coach, he says, your job is what you're paid to do, but your work is what you're made to do. Your work is what you're made to do. And so I'm releasing my work. That's why I say this is the biggest mixtape release of 2025. Not because of me. It's not because of me. It's because this is my calling. It's because God put me in the position to release this. He said, he told me. It's the biggest mixtape release of 2025. Why? It's because it's serving others. It's serving others. Y'all, I haven't started to fully roll it out yet. I'm just getting started. I'm just sprinkling little things. I'm just getting used to. I'm stepping into my position. It may be, like, man, I'm 30 years old. I'm 30 years old. You feel me? Like, what? They talk about like rap is a young man. I'm still young. You feel me? Don't let them, if you in your 30s, even if you in your late 20s, people in their late 20s be feeling old. If you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, you are still young. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you that you're not. Don't let them make you feel. You may be an unk. You may be a grand. You get what I'm saying? You may be a parent, but you are still young. You still have youth to you. What is 80 years in eternity? Nothing. It's a blimp. It's just came and went. It came and went already. We just buried my granddad. Was that last week? Last week. Came and went. Came and went. So it's your calling. It's your calling. The profession, let me read that again. Your profession, your business, your creativity, they are not random. They are kingdom platforms designed to position you exactly where you need to be. Your work is not separate from your calling. It is your calling. All right. And so it's time for you to sign your name into your authority. It's time to sign your name where your authority lies. You have to authorize it. You have to authorize it. So this is how you do it. You speak with authority. Your words create your world. So you have to declare who you are. You have to declare who you are. I am this. I am that. I just made a new X account, and I'm on there. I'm on there letting the X people know that I'm a genius. I let the X people know that I'm a genius. I'm a thought leader, things like that, because I'm declaring it. I'm not hiding it no more. I'm not hiding it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I cannot, because there's too many people out there that need me. They need my help. It's too many people out there that need my help. And if I'm somewhere ducked off, hiding in the back of the booth somewhere, nah, they're not gonna be able to find me. I have to make myself findable for the people that need my help. There's people out here that's struggling that I have a solution for. Y'all, like I said, y'all can go to premierforeign.com and check out some resources, things like that. We are on a wealth journey. We're on a wealth creation journey. It's business owners out here that's been in business 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years that need my help. Imagine that. Imagine that. A young strapping fella from the yak, and you've been in business 30 years and you need my help? Yes, because I was called for this. This is where my authority lies. I've been studying this stuff for years to help me. I've been studying business for years in order to position myself as, in order to help my business. But whole time I've realized that my business is helping other people in their business. How ironic is that? And so when you step into your purpose, you'll start to realize things. It might take you a long time. That's where the identity comes into play. Your being. It takes time to be. It takes time to be, because let's just take a baby, for instance. A baby has to learn how to walk. They have to learn how to talk. They have to learn how to form sentences. They have to learn how to do all these things, and it takes time in order to learn how to do these things. So that's a pretty good example. You have to own your name. Step into the identity that God has placed on your life. I am Ray Lamar. You get what I'm saying? You got to own it. Like, I am who you are. I am who I am. I am that I am. You have to claim. You have to know it. Like, what? You talking to, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to be arrogant. People, and don't get me wrong, people will take your confidence as arrogance. Don't let them detour you from your confidence, from you being who you are and you claiming who you are and being confident in who you are. Don't let the people, just because they lack the confidence, don't let them try to take you from your confidence. Okay? Because they'll do that. They'll try to tell you that you think you know what I'm saying? Dog thinking he, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case. Don't let it happen. You got to stand on that. You have to step into the position. Stop waiting for permission. The kingdom has already approved you. God has already approved you. He said, you good. He said, yep, him. He said, yep, her specifically, him specifically. Whoever you are, if it's, and sometimes I don't know who this message is for. This message is for me. You know what I'm saying? This message is, but yet I was called. Let me prove to you that. Let me prove to you that when you step into your authority, you're being called. You're authorizing your authority, because by me sitting here learning, I'm learning, y'all. By the way, this is a digital asset class, and I haven't even talked about digital assets, but yet this is a digital asset. Me doing this video is a digital asset, by the way. So by me simply doing this, I'm learning by exhaling this information that I'm taking in. I'm not just consuming it, I'm exhaling it. And so it's helping me learn faster and better, but yet I'm also in a position to teach, because other people need this message. There are other people that are in need of this message. And so by me stepping into my calling, I'm able to bless others and also bless myself. You know what I'm saying? It's called being a secondary beneficiary. You feel me? I'm a secondary beneficiary. I benefit second, because I want the work I'm here to help others, but yet I benefit second. So when I help other businesses, I help them, but yet I'm the secondary beneficiary. When I help other artists, when I help business owners, when I help entrepreneurs, when I help students, when I help people who want to learn and do some of the things that I'm able to help them do, I'm the secondary beneficiary, because not only am I teaching somebody else, but I'm learning how to teach. I'm learning how to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that you're called to do, you have to step into that, because it's dynamic. It's dynamic. You're going to learn things while you're also fulfilling things. So create with authority. Whether you write, build, sell, or teach, everything you do is kingdom work. It's kingdom work. This is worship. This is like worship. You can't run from it. You cannot run from it. And so I'm calling you to take action today. Take action today. Do whatever it is that you're called to do. Do it. Do it. Try it. Don't try it. Do it. No, I'm not here to try. Just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little, listen, because sometimes it could be dangerous. It could be dangerous. What I say? I could never do this for the fame, but when you do the things we do, you end up famous. We gonna be famous. We gonna be famous. It gets dangerous. It gets dangerous. It's going to be, there's an element of danger that comes with exposure. You can walk around Walmart and feel the danger. Just because there's so many people there. You don't know what these people own. The world is full of danger. You can't even go to Walmart without, you know what I'm saying, looking around like, who is this? What is this? You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay aware. The world is full of evil. And so, yes, whatever you're doing may be dangerous. It may have an element of danger. I'm not telling you to put yourself in a position where you might hurt yourself or nothing like that. But, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes there is an element of danger that comes with, taking that step and moving forward. But so if you are a creator, I do have a free ebook. It's called 10 Things All Creators Must Know Moving Forward. 10 Things All Creators Must Know Moving Forward. You can get it off the website premierforeign.com. Just put the, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a spot. It'll be, the book is there. You could just click it and get it. Whatever, type your information. It'll be like your name, your email, and I believe phone number, so that you can get whatever updates that you might need, whatever the case. We got a bunch of movements coming, just getting everything tightened up. We got these digital assets on the way. You're gonna be able to get free digital. These are free digital assets, by the way. PremierForeign.com. Get the ebook. Learn how to activate your authority. Step into your calling and walk in kingdom dominion. Okay, your time is now. And by the way, this ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody. This is for the ones who hear the call and the ones who know that their time has come. The world is waiting for you. The word is waiting for you. And so you got to move now. Move now. Okay? So y'all stay up, stay blessed, and stay tuned. Let's get it.